We are recording.
Okay.
We're recording right now.
Okay.
Literally doing it.
Fine.
Okay. Are you going to be involved?
I mean, what do you want from me? What do you want me to do?
I mean, we pre-arranged this like
This
a
is
slot.
ridiculous. So there's quite a lot going on Facebook. Go on, let's crack on. What do you want to do? What's this?
The Fifth Cheese Halloween special.
Fifth Cheese. I've already done one of these.
Yeah, we're doing another one. So it's a series.
Why are we doing another one? Why are we doing another one?
Listenership. People are interested. They want more.
But I just, isn't there somebody else you could have on as a guest? Because I feel like mine wasn't very long ago, and there are loads of comedians. Is it?
Well, I would have someone else ideally, but your episode got one of the highest clicks per scroll. So,
You know why that is? Because it was the shortest, and it leave people wanting more. So if we do a long one now with me, people will be overexposed to me, and then they'll be just as tired of me.
And then I won't have to have you on again.
So if we're going to have to do this, then we've got to be snappy. So come on, let's do this. I don't want, because the last one was under 9 minutes. So let's keep this snappy. So hit me with some questions, Damon. Come on.
Can I do the introduction?
I mean, if you're quick about it.
Welcome. What age should a person be considered old enough to die of old age?
That's a good question. It's a variable, isn't it? It's variable depending on what
a specific, number.
No, I feel like it's dependent on what the average life expectancy of somebody in your society is. And that changes depending on what.
Let's say Glasgow.
Glasgow in any particular decade?
90s.
Glasgow in the 90s, 35.
The director of Scream, Wes Craven, would hide the voice actor who voiced Ghostface, Roger L. Jackson, on set during shoots. During the scenes where the characters were being taunted on the phone, Jackson was hidden on set, actually making the calls. Is that something you do?
What? Hide in places and phone people when they're not expecting it? It has been known.
Because he was so young, is that a cauldron mug that you've got?
No, it's just a cup.
It's like a cauldron.
Yeah, because it's kind of fluted at the top.
And you've got he's doing a potion.
It's just a spoon. That was for extracting the tea bag. But I don't like doing what some people do, which is leaving the spoon on the side. So I kept it in the mug.
Right, maybe worse.
I feel like this is precisely the kind of thing that drags the length of these things out.
Because he was so young, Danny Lloyd, the actor kid who played Danny in The Shining, was told he was making a drama film, not a horror film.
Okay.
What do you think of
that? They didn't want to upset him by him thinking that he was in a horror film. That's fair enough, isn't it? That's okay.
Okay.
I think that's reasonable. I think it depends what it is, right? Sometimes it's okay, I think, for a director to omit information. I think that's okay. I mean, I was once in a short film where I was standing next to something and there was archers, and the scene was supposed to be that an arrow was fired towards me and hit into something next to me. But what the director had not told me, and deliberately hadn't told me, was that they'd got some fake bendy arrows. And so I thought it was just going to be, let's pretend to fire the arrow and then cut. And what they actually did was fire a bendy arrow. So for the split second, I thought I genuinely had an arrow fired by an archer to about a foot to my right. And that I was terrified. Now, was that morally acceptable?
Yeah, that's fine. Let me just do the start of that again.
Okay.
Because he was so young, Danny Lloyd, the actor kid who played Danny in The Shining, was told he was told he was making a horror film. No, that's not
A
right.
horror film?
I've got that wrong. Okay, let's go again.
No, it was a horror film.
Yeah,
You
but
haven't got it wrong.
okay. No, but he wasn't told that. He was told it was a drama.
But it was a drama.
Because he was so young, Danny Lloyd, the actor kid who played Danny in The Shining, was told he was making a drama.
I know you've told me this already. You've already told me this.
Yeah, but I want to do it again because I didn't feel like I nailed it. What do you make of it anyway? Make of that?
Of what?
The fact that he was, told it was a horror, not a drama.
Who was?
Danny Lloyd.
Who's Danny Lloyd?
Jack Nicholson had worked as a volunteer firefighter. So when he tore down the bathroom door in The Shining, he decimated the prop door too easily and had to use a real door.
Oh, nice.
Is that something you think you could do?
What, tear down a door? It's my preferred way of entry, to be honest. I've always thought knobs and handles are for pussies. So I hack my way through at all times.
Right. Is that messy?
Yeah. I don't get invited around very much anymore, but I mean, in the times of Corona, it doesn't matter anyway, does it? Because tier 2, not allowed to go and see anyone anyway.
Is that a cauldron mug you've got? The original title thought of for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was Head Cheese.
That's not true, is it?
The mask in Halloween is a modified Star Trek William Shatner mask. They spray painted it white and cut the eye holes bigger.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. That's fantastic. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
That's
mad.
That's a brilliant fact. What does William Shatner think about this? The lack of research that you do on secondary information about your questions is really, really poor.
I don't expect follow-ups. I'm going to be honest.
Well, don't book a guest of my caliber then.
You didn't know you were booked.
It's true.
There we go.
That's a good fact. I like that fact.
That's
the best fact yet. Cut all the others. Keep that one. Keep it punchy. Just, hello, this is the fifth cheese. The mask was William Shatner one. What cheese is on my pizza? Yeah. Thank you and good night.
No context.
45 seconds.
Great.
Stick it on TikTok. That's where you should be. TikTok. Fifth cheese on TikTok.
What's your favourite horror film?
Carry On Camping.
Why?
Why? I just think it's particularly horrific, isn't it? I mean, it's set in this nightmare land where feminism has yet to fully topple the patriarchy, and where it's set in a land where sexism is such a fundamental law of physics that you can't even do aerobics in a field without your bikini top catapulting off of its own volition. That is truly nightmarish.
It's nightmarish for me imagining you exercising in that way and having that result.
Yeah.
What have you got, baby? What have you got, a little doll, baby?
What?
What have you got, a little doll, baby, in the corner there of the screen?
I don't even understand the question.
There's like a doll, like a little doll, like a child's doll, just in
the corner of the screen.
No, in the other corner.
I don't know what you're on about.
Can you not see that? Just point.
No, I can't see it all.
Really?
It's just the Northern Lights.
Right there.
It's
literally
green screen.
Right there.
It's just the Northern Lights on green screen. That's all it is. It's just computer effects.
That's weird. I mean, literally top right, there's a doll.
You can do different. There's all kinds of different effects you can do.
Just look up.
It's different effects.
Who are you?
Who am I? Richard
Imagine.
Imagine.
You know, an owl is meant to be quite ominous.
are they ominous? Because I suppose it's because they're nocturnal birds and they howl in the night and they've got a face that's kind of flat, so it looks a bit like human eyes.
And they can do that exorcist thing, can't they? With their heads like all the way around.
Yeah. I like owls. I think owls are good.
Seriously, you can't see the doll.
I don't know what you're on about. It's just green screen. It's just an effect. I mean, can you see a planet behind you?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's right there. See it?
So your dishwasher on?
It is.
Who puts their dishwasher on when they know they're going to be interviewing somebody on a webcam that's right next to a dishwasher?
Do you think that's going to affect the audio? People will hear that?
I just think it's the kind of thing that when you've done 20 episodes of a podcast interview, that it's probably the kind of thing you would have ironed out by now.
Which is your armrest in a cinema? Is it the one on the right or the one on the left?
I'd go for the right one, I think.
Okay. Are you right-handed or...?
Yes.
Left-handed people die 3 years earlier than right-handed people.
Fair. Turn your dishwasher off.
I refuse to do that. I refuse. Okay, so
do you use tablets or capsules?
The last one I put in was a fairy liquid tab capsule thing.
How long ago was that?
45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I did know it would be going when we started.
It's not a fast.
I mean, it doesn't seem fair that you've got Jaffa cakes and I don't. Can I have a Jaffa cake?
No. You were saying that you're a magician.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a magician, then like we could send the internet through the air. Can you send this bit of the internet through the air?
Yeah, that's easier because that's a smaller piece of the internet.
Just a little bit of the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't send like a massive bit of the internet through the air, just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit's feasible.
Okay.
Yeah, just pass it through on your MacBook Air, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just near the camera port, near the camera lens is a. Yeah, just there.
Okay.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, very good. Who taught you to do that? Was it Paul Daniels?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, it'd be a full one, and your saliva wouldn't be all around it.
Well, I was halfway through eating it when you asked for it, so.
That is true.
Was Paul Daniels your mentor?
Tier 2 or Tier 3?
Tier 2. I want to know about how you were mentored into the world of magic. Was because you ask all the questions, nobody asks you the questions. Was Paul Daniels your mentor?
No, I had a chance to meet him though.
Yeah.
But
were you in the audience for Wipeout?
That was Bob Monkhouse.
Pretty sure Paul Daniels did Wipeout.
Bob Monkhouse.
I haven't done research into this. Let's look it up. I haven't thought about Wipeout for years. You've got me wondering now, did Bob Monkhouse do Wipeout or did Paul Daniels? They might have both done it. Let's find out. This is fun, isn't it? Wipeout. BBC. Oh, Total Wipeout. That's a different thing. Wipeout. Oh, you'll never guess. They both did it.
What?
Paul Daniels did it from 1994 to 1997. Bob Monkhouse took over till 2003. So you remember the latter days of Wipeout, whereas I'm remembering the classic era. I can't remember the format.
Got your Jaffa cakes, mate?
Oh, I was distracted by looking up who presented Wipeout. That's a classic example of distraction in a magic trick.
They're back.
Oh, thanks. I've run out of tea now.
You know what? You had a question about magic, didn't you?
Yeah. Think about it. I'm going to go make a cup of tea.
Okay. Have you really gone to make a cup of tea? Richard. I'm going to turn the dishwasher off.
Oh, where's he gone? All right.
Yeah. Did you make your tea?
Yeah, I've got a cup of tea, yeah.
Yeah. Just doing a coffee.
It is all kicking off.
Okay.
So much drama on the Facebooks. It's the Hoff.
Yeah, man.
Is that a coaster?
Yeah.
How's your coffee?
Yeah, it's nice.
What have you got?
It is a Starbucks blonde roast latte. For the milk element, I used a Arancino from Nespresso. Just pop in the milk, press one button, and it's done. Very great. And then the actual coffee itself, it's one of the Nespresso compatible capsules, Starbucks blonde roast, using just a classic Nespresso machine. Again, pop it in, leave it down, you click it, and it's done. Combine those two elements. I've thrown in some sugar, and you're onto a winner. You do need to rinse the Arancino after use. And there's a top tip that you should just put some water in before you do the milk and just run that through. Then you won't get any adhesion to the actual non-stick.
You didn't ask me why. You didn't ask me why. You always start these with why. You didn't ask me why.
Why?
Zed. No one else has said that. I didn't want that gold to be lost.
Yeah, I mean it was lost. It was found again. It was fool's gold in the end, wasn't it? Fool's gold. This year will be the first Halloween in 19 years to have a full moon.
Ooh.
What do you make of that?
It's not nearly as interesting as the fact that there is water on the moon. That's a much more interesting fact.
That's true. What do you know?
I know that they found a very small amount of water in a crater on the moon. Because I think previously what happened is, I think in 1969 they went to the moon, but they didn't really bother looking around very far. I think Neil Armstrong just got out, stretched his legs, got back in, left, and they just went, nah, there's no water. But they didn't really look.
Yeah. Did they go back to the moon, do you think?
They've never been back, no.
No, what's that film? What's that film that they made about it? One of the times.
Moonraker.
No, Apollo. What was it? Apollo. Tom Hanks.
Forrest Gump.
No,
Toy
he's
Story.
got no confectionery in this. It's all zero fat, zero atmosphere chocolate. It's freeze dried.
Zero atmosphere. Very much like this podcast.
Apollo 11.
Okay.
Remember that?
Nope.
Full moons on Halloween are pretty rare. Last time was...
Apparently there hasn't been one for 19 years.
That's true. Yeah, last one was 2001. And then the time before that was when?
Earlier. It was in the 20th century.
Yeah. 1955. When's the next one?
On the 31st of October.
Very good. Like Ask Jeeves, isn't it?
I actually was Ash Jeeves. There's a fact for you.
Whoa. What?
I was.
In what context?
I was Ash Jeeves. I had a computer and people's questions used to come to me. I would look them up in the Encyclopedia Britannica and I would type the answers back to them. And eventually it got too much because I had other things on. So I just stopped doing it. And now people use Google.
Right. That does make sense. Did you have a dog as well? Sometimes that you would make him do it?
Yeah, I had a little dog. Sometimes did it as well.
Lycos.
Yeah, that's right. And then eventually I fired Lycos into space. And she might be floating behind you right now. She was just annoying me.
I am not going to put that graphic in the show.
Of a little dog.
I could do it, but I'm not going to. Not going to do it.
I don't think you could.
I could definitely put a little dog floating around there.
I don't think you've got the power.
Imagine it.
I can imagine it.
And they're gone. When you wake up, you will think you are a successful West Midlands-based comedian and voiceover artist. And rise and shine. So how's your career? What have you been up to?
It's going extremely well. I'm having an absolutely fantastic time.
Yeah. Doing what?
Just constant stand-up comedy gigs and voiceovers all the time. In fact, we're going to have to cut this short soon because I've got some stand-up comedy and voiceovers to do at the special stand-up comedy and voiceover studio.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. Revenge is also sweet. People get their just desserts. What pudding is revenge?
What pudding is revenge? It'd be like a blancmange laced with cyanide, wouldn't it?
Is your answer to this question no?
Yes.
If you expect the unexpected, doesn't that make the unexpected expected?
Yes.
I was expecting that.
So was I.
What scares you?
Death.
Yeah?
Yeah. Death scares me.
And sleep. When you wake up, you will imagine there is a doll to your left, a tiny child's doll. You will be scared and then curious. And then the doll will seem to fall from its perch and disappear into the night. Rise and shine. So how's your tea?
It's nice. It's Yorkshire tea. Nice and strong.
Who's that with you?
Nobody with me.
I think there is, isn't there?
Nobody here.
Well, have a little look around.
The bloody hell's that come from? Did you put that there? Damon, I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm sorry that I said your fifth cheeses were too long. I don't want you to do any more of your weird things that you were taught by Paul Daniels to do. If I ever have the ability to make you the host of Wipeout, I will make sure that happens for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's all I was looking for.
It's what you wanted.
You ready for the story?
Story? What story?
Just going to do a little story. Okay.
You're going to do a story?
Going to do a little story. Here we go.
I mean, this is already really, really long. There's not going to be time for a story as well. How long's the story?
It's a short story.
All right, come on then.
The Peasant and the Devil. There was once upon a time a far-sighted, crafty peasant whose tricks were much talked about. The best story is, however, how he once got hold of the devil and made a fool of him. The peasant had one day been working in his field, and as twilight had set in, was making ready for the journey home, when he saw a heap of burning coals in the middle of his field, and when, full of astonishment, he went up to it. A little black devil was sitting on the live coals. "Thou dost indeed sit upon a treasure," said the peasant.
"Yes, in truth,"
replied the devil,
"on a treasure which contains more gold and silver than thou hast ever seen in thy life."
"The treasure lies in my field and belongs to me," said the peasant.
"It is thine,"
answered the devil.
"if thou wilt for 2 years give me half of everything the field produces. Money I have enough of, but I have a desire for the fruits of the earth."
The peasant agreed to the bargain. "In order, however, that no dispute may arise about the division," said he, "everything that is about ground shall belong to thee, and what is under the earth to me." The devil was quite satisfied with that, but the cunning peasant had sown turnips. Now, when the time for harvest came, the devil appeared and wanted to take away his crop, but he found nothing but the yellow withered leaves, while the peasant, full of delight, was digging up his turnips.
"Thou hast had the best of it for once,"
said the devil,
"but the next time that won't do. What grows above the ground shall be thine, and what is under it, mine."
"I am willing," replied the peasant. But when the time came to sow, he did not again sow turnips, but wheat. The grain became ripe, and the peasant went into the field and cut the full stalks down to the ground.
Clever.
When the devil came, he found nothing but the stubble, and went away in a fury down into a cleft in the rocks. "That is the way to cheat the devil," said the peasant, and went and fetched away the treasure.
Good story.
It's all right, isn't it?
It's very good. I like the bits with the devil in the best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the peasant was good, and the narration generally was up there.
So where was it set? Walsall.
Yeah, just
The accent for the peasant was impeccable.
I can't believe that you didn't know that Paul Daniels presented Wipeout.
I forgot. I genuinely forgot that he.
I'd forgotten that he presented that Bob Moncast did it. To be fair, I would have known that once upon a time.
And we end, as always, on the last question, and that is, what is the fifth cheese? It's the Halloween special. So the cheese is mouldy. So I ask you, Richard Dad, what is the fifth mouldy cheese and why?
Well, last time that I was on this, in the first episode of the fifth cheese, I said that it was possibly a cheese of your own making that was milked from a relative or friend, and that wasn't the answer. So I'd have to come up with another answer. When Sunil Singh was on this, he said Red Leicester, didn't he?
Yeah, I've got that in the fridge, some of that.
When Eric Rushton was on it, he said Feta. Hannah Wheatman said Gorgonzola. Abby Edwards said Philadelphia. Hannah Gray said head cheese, which I thought was the most imaginative answer. Matt Taylor said Cathedral City Cheddar specifically. Mary Flanagan said mozzarella and Wensleydale. You allowed the two answers. El Powell said Gorgonzola. Luke McDonald said Monterey Jack. Mr. Badger said Dairy Lee. Abby Hale said smoked Gouda. Sachin Kumarendran said Bavarian cheese. Ishi Khan said mozzarella. David Luck said Wensleydale or Stinking Bishop. Two answers again. Sally Hill said mozzarella. Tal Davis said Gorgonzola. Mary Flanagan said Gruyere. Tommy Tomsky said Gorgonzola. So we can eradicate all of those possibilities. We can also learn that that comedians think that gorgonzola is a funny cheese, and none of them watched the other episodes because most people said gorgonzola. We know it's not that. So it's going to be a cheese that I haven't just read out.
Before you give your answer, I just want you to know that this is the finale of the Halloween episodes. So this has to be sort of.
Well, I was going to say
now. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I was going to say that it was possibly a Black Sticks Blue cheese. I'm not sure how well this works with the green screen, given that it is essentially green because it's so mouldy. But this is an absolutely divine cheese, and it is, I would say, probably my favourite cheese. The Black Sticks Blue. It smells, and it is absolutely divine. Oh, seriously, Damon. The endorphins that are rushing through my head right now are quite frankly obscene. That is so exciting. But that is such a nice cheese. That is such a nice cheese. But I'm not actually going to say Black Sticks Blue because I think I can narrow down the answer and give you the definitive answer of what the fifth cheese is. I think we can draw this entire charade to a close because in episode 8 of the fifth cheese, when interviewing Mary Flanagan, you specified that the 4 cheeses on your pizza were cheddar, feta, brie, and parmesan.
That's true. They were.
But then in episode 12 of the fifth cheese, you specified that the 4 cheeses, when talking to Abby Hale, were cheddar, brie, parmesan, and spicy Mexican.
They were that day.
Therefore,
they were.
In canon, we have established what 5 cheeses were on your pizza: cheddar, feta, brie, parmesan, and spicy Mexican. That's 5 cheeses. That is canon. That is going in the fifth cheese wiki.
Now there's a timey-wimey element that you've not taken.
You're damn right. There's a timey-wimey element because in episode 16, when you were interviewing Sally Hill, you specified that the 4 cheeses were cheddar, feta, parmesan, and Bavarian smoked cheese. Therefore, you have named 6 cheeses as having been on your 5 cheese pizza. Look, I put it to you that this proves that this whole nonsense is just a complete farrago. It's nothing. You haven't even bothered to keep track of what your 4 main cheeses are. You expect other people. I've been doing my research. I've done more research into the fifth cheese than you've done into any of the questions. Do you know what the total running time of the fifth cheese is? 19 episodes, and the total running time is 6 hours and 54 minutes. I've watched nearly 7 hours of the fifth cheese, and you can't even be bothered to keep track of your 4 cheeses. I mean, the classic Damon Conlan response would be to just completely ignore what's been said in this episode and forge on with the next guest who won't have watched my interview, so won't know that the whole thing's been blown open, so it's fine.
Yeah, that is what will happen.
Yeah, I know. Brilliant.